Alexander the Great, ancient leader who conquered half of the known world more than 2000 years ago. He probably wouldn't be so famous without his father, King Philip II, who transformed minor North Greek kingdom into the main power of Hellenic world and prepared it for future conquests. Today we are going to focus on Philip's first big battle with one of his neighbors, the Battle of Erigon Valley. My name is Balthazar, and it is time for some history. Our story begins near 359 BC, when Macedonian king Perdiccas III is preparing to march his army northwest to deal with Dardani tribe, who are frequently pillaging Macedonian borders. His plan was to overcome Dardanian domination in the area and give some relief to Macedon people. The plan was good, but Dardanians were skilled warriors and they beat Macedonians. King Perdiccas was killed, half of his troops were killed, army was annihilated. Macedon was screwed, with many enemies around ready to conquer wounded state. And now it's time to introduce today's main character, Perdiccas' youngest brother, Philip. He grabbed the crown, exploiting fact that Perdiccas' son was too young to rule. Philip was also backed by Macedonian higher-ranked officers. He instantly began efforts to save Macedon from destruction. Thanks to diplomacy and bribery, Philip managed to get some time for deep breath and recovery. Second priority was to reconstruct the army and bring back faith. Exhausting training started. Soldiers learned how to fight in phalanx formation with use of new 6-meter-long pikes called sarissa. Here's standard door spear as a comparison. And that's how it worked. Well, you should get the idea. New tactics and equipment soon proved to be very effective. Next year, Paeonian king Aegis had died. Philip took this opportunity and marched his army straight north to defeat his neighbors and made Paeonia his vassal state. Next logical step was to deal with Dardanians and retrieve territories lost by his brother Perdiccas. Philip mobilized every suitable man in Macedonia for the upcoming battle, managing to gather 10,000 infantry and 600 cavalry. When Bardalais, king of Dardanians, was informed about the new Macedonian threat, he proposed a treaty to maintain the status quo. But it was totally unacceptable for Philip, as his goal was to regain control over northwestern Macedonia. Battle seemed inevitable. The armies met on a plain in the Erigon Valley, close to present city of Bitola. King Bardalais raised 10,000 men and 500 cavalry, army roughly the same size as Macedonian one. However, Philip's troops were far better trained and equipped, yet inexperienced. Among Dardanian ranks there were veterans of many wars. King Bardalais himself was 90 years old, but still capable of taking the field on horseback. He initially deployed his troops in linear fashion, with strongest units in the center, probably the same way as he did in battle versus Perdiccas year before. He could expect another easy win. On the opposite side of the battlefield, Philip decided to concentrate his best men, the Hypaspists, on right flank, phalangites on the left and center, and cavalry units on the sides. Whole formation was a bit slanted, with right flank being the most exposed one. Battle was about to begin. Both armies advanced forward. Dardanians moved quickly, and Macedonians slow enough to keep formation and order. King Philip estimated that his sarissa-equipped phalangites can hold ground against every kind of unit they encounter, so he could break through the right flank with his elite Hypaspists. King Bardalais hasn't prepared anything extraordinary. He believed that his battle-hardened troops will deal with opponents quite easily. Armies finally clashed, and fierce melee fighting began across the battlefield. Macedonian phalanx units located in the middle and the left flank were hard not to crack, even for the finest Dardanian troops led by King Bardelais. Their Sarissa long spears and exhausting training started to pay off. Stalemate situation lasted for a while, as both sides couldn't break enemy lines. After all, both armies were similar in size. Eventually, the Dardanian right flank started to lose ground. Philip and his hypaspists pushed enemy lines, inflicting heavy damage to their ranks. Some men from left and center were used to support collapsing right flank and avoid encirclement. But things continued to get worse and worse for King Bardelais units. Now weakened left side wasn't able to beat Macedonian long spears, despite using best available units for this task. On the right side, Philip's units supported by cavalry were encouraged enough to stop exhausted Dardanian troops from the back. This caused general disorder in blue ranks. Soon first men ran from the battlefield to avoid slaughter. Macedonian skirmishers and cavalry fiercely chased running Dardanians, killing many more of them. Battle was over. King Bardelais was dead, probably slain in battle. Dardanians lost almost half of their warriors, lying dead in the Erigon valley. Some other units were captured, several hundreds routed. Macedonian casualties were significantly lower, varying between 300 to 500 soldiers killed. This battle was first great victory achieved by Philip. He taught his neighbors a lesson hard to forget. The northwestern frontier was secured. Philip annexed Dardanian territory as far as Lake Lynkesta. Macedonian border remained untouched, as no Illyrian tribe dared to raid Philip's lands for a long time.
My name is Baltazar and thank you for watching.